everyone, and welcome to Interviewing Skills FAQ number 1. How do we measure competencies correctly? Now, how many times have you been faced with these kind of questions? How do we make sure that the person we are hiring is right? Is this person really passionate about the job? Or, is it just talk? Is this person going to be a great team player? So how do you actually make a choice about people? Do you do guesswork? You've asked the questions, those questions seem to work, and you guess that they'll be good. And your boss also seems to guess that the person might be good. So are you using guesswork? The second thing, of course, you can use is gut feel. You just know internally that this person is right for the job. But honestly, neither of them are scientifically based. If I look at the best method, which is both scientific, which is evidence-based, which is measurable, which has been used by top organizations across the world, and they have proven themselves over a period of time, well, this is what I'm going to talk to you about. We're going to talk about BARS, behaviorally anchored rating scales. And it's been proven to be the best way to measure behavioral competencies. So let us see what these BARS are. As I said, it is behaviorally anchored rating scales. That's what BARS stands for. And what do? They describe behaviors differentiating between effective and ineffective performers that can be observed. Now that's the main key word. It can be observed. It's not in your head. It's not a gut feel. It's not guesswork. We're talking about things that you or anyone else can see and hence validate. You can anchor them at points on a scale. You can say this person is good, this one is better, this guy is the best. So there is a scale, and because that person is displaying that behavior, you can actually validate it. The second thing that we look at is the person's behavior described or displayed. Either you're asking the person to describe a certain form of behavior which you're looking for, or the person is displaying it in a particular way during an assessment, during the interview, and you can compare them to the anchors, to the points that you have described earlier, and rated people accordingly. Now this sounds like a lot of jargon, right? So let us just do a little quick exercise to understand how this works. Let's look at the competency adaptability. Now this is one of the key things which we look for in today's world. Can the person adapt to its changing environment? Can the person adapt to changing markets, different scenarios? Can he think differently? Can he quickly make decisions in the market? Right? How do these people react? How do you measure whether the person has been successful at adaptability in his life or her life? So let's just take a question. Let's just imagine that you're taking an interview. You have to figure out the right questions that you would ask regarding adaptability as a competency to check out whether the person is really adaptable or not. So take a few minutes and think about it. What questions would you ask someone? Have you got some things? I'm sure you have. Let's see. What are the indicators of adaptability? First thing you have to do before you actually ask the question is to define the indicators. Is this person willing to expand on original duties, wants to contribute and learn as much as possible to enhance performance? This is what I would say is one sign of being adaptable. So I could ask a question like, tell me about your role. What did you do? When you joined, what was your position? When was the next promotion? What did you have to learn to get yourself fit for the role? How many new things did you learn? And when you go deeper and deeper into that, you can understand the effort that this person has taken to adapt to a particular situation. Successful adaptation to significant changes. That's another indicator. Now that can be anything. Now if we're looking at Corona, for instance, how many people have adapted successfully to the situation? What about marriage? What about divorces? What about moving from one place to another? All those things are situations which people have to adapt to. Now you'll have to ask questions regarding that. What were the great significant changes in your life? What did you do? How did you manage? What were the new things that you learn to adapt? Consistent past performance under adversity or major negative change. This is a third indicator. You have to ask, you have to dig and find out, did this person go through some major, traumas in life? Did they have to do something? And when you look at the negative changes, how well did this person adapt himself or herself to get over those negative circumstances? Demonstrated ability to work with a wide spectrum of people. What kind of friends does this person have? That makes a lot of difference. You can look at effective response to change in conversation. Now, this is a little different if you see. Earlier, we've been talking about things which happened in the past. Here, we are looking at current. So while you're watching, while you're asking a question, and you have a sudden shift, you shift gears suddenly in the middle of the conversation, and watch this person's expression and see how does this person react to change. Geographical change tempered with success and stability. So asking the person whether the person has grown up in one city or multiple cities, has a person been to hostel, has he lived abroad, has he lived in different culturally different kind of places, and look at the answers. Now, once I have all these indicators, I can put a scale on it. Depending on the level, I don't have to have all of them. I can't test a person on all of them. I might choose 5 or 6 of these indicators, and then I put a scale on it. Let's see what a scale looks like. For instance, we're saying that for adaptability, demonstrated the ability to work with a wide range of people, a wide spectrum of people, and consistent past performance under adversity or major negative change. So we have taken 2 of the indicators here. Let's see whether we can put them into levels. So at level 1, let's say there are 20 people whom you are interviewing. At level 1, the person has not demonstrated that skill. It's normally a negative statement. The indicator by itself is a positive statement, but when I start putting it into indicators or into levels, my first level will show negative indicators. So it will be something like, has worked with people from a similar background, but not different types of people. So the person has just passed out of one, lived in a city, grown up, went to college in the same city. So is used to working with people from the same background. If I look at the second one, you will see he has worked with people from varying backgrounds, but not developed closeness. So he's friendly, can get along, but will not go to their house maybe. The third one that we look at here is, has integrated well with people from different backgrounds and produced good results. So there has been actual integration that has happened. Now, when we ask the questions, we might be able to get the complete answer. And if there are 10 people I interview, I can figure out whether the person is at level 1, level 2 or level 3, keeping in mind this specific indicator. Now let's look at the second indicator that has consistent past performance under diversity or major negative changes. Now we're saying that this person has gone through some horrible times or bad times, right? Now at level 1, he has not succeeded, failed, or succeeded very minimally, just about managed. Level 2, he's been partly successful. Now you have to define, you have to ask, what is partly in this case? You might have to define it. Like, let's say if it's a, did the person do well in school? Did the person, let's say if it's a school-based thing, then did the person manage to clear the exams? Okay, cleared the exams, but did not clear maybe an IIT-based thing. Did not do fantastically, but was okay. The third one is that he's actually, despite all the kind of problems, this person succeeded in living up to his dream or her dream. So his success, extremely successful in the face of adversity by coming up with innovative solutions. Now, if you look at it, there are 3, it's a scale of 3. And anybody whom we're assessing for adaptability will fall in this. So if there are 10 people, I can put people in there. I can rank them accordingly, right? And this way of assessing people has been considered to be one of the best in the world. Predictive validity means the prediction of the outcome, that this person is going to be a good worker, average worker, fantastic worker. So you're predicting the performance level of a person. So predictive validity of a structured interview, if you look at the results here,
for instance. Assessment centers. Now, assessment centers use multiple methods. They have the highest success rate in predicting someone's performance. It's about 85%. If I'm looking at structured interviews, it's 62%, which is also almost 85. It's it's about 80% or so. But if I'm taking an unstructured interview, I'm taking, everybody asks the favorite questions and use their own gut feel and their own thought process. They have a validity of 0.31, which is nothing but a 50% chance of success, which means you might as well toss a coin, which doesn't mean anything at all. So a structured interview has shown itself to be one of the most successful ways of predicting someone's performance, making sure that the people you are hiring in the HR, as part of the HR department, are going to be far more successful than a person who's just been hired using an unstructured interview format. So I'm sure this will help you make some decisions when you're hiring or when you're promoting someone or you're giving them a lateral shift somewhere. It's one of the best ways. So with that, we come to the end of FAQ 1, and I hope it helped you understand a little more about bars. See you next time.